time's a charm, and it
Here we
didn't
go.
even work. That YouTube changing was still high because changing settings and then you can't get to where you used to be, even though you've been doing it for quite a while. So, anyway, hi.
Hello.
A little later than
Hola.
expected.
Indeed.
Here we are. I took the liberty of shuffling the cards, and I just thought that whilst you're with me, let's have a little go. And what I was thinking, the Sunday sit, right? And I've been thinking about it a lot because just coming here, I want us to have a purpose, I want to have value in our lives if we're going to take time to gather together. And given that it's November, and that anywhere you go now there's Christmas music and Christmas things, and maybe you like that or maybe you don't, it doesn't really matter. The holiday season, as they call it, is upon us, right? And it's a season of giving. That's what we keep getting told. Well, we can't give what we don't have. And also, if it is a season of giving, how about making sure we put ourselves at the top of the list? How do you feel about that? Can you put yourself at the top of the list? Does it feel selfish? But you see, if you're not at the top of your list, then how can you be on the top of anything for anyone else, right? And surely, if you've got other people looking up to you, perhaps you've got children or other people around you, we've all got someone looking at us, you taking care of yourself and being a boss in everything else is going to be a really good example for them, isn't it? Right? It also allows you to define your boundaries and things, and then that also allows other people to be inspired by that, right? And informed. So it's a season of giving. We're going to give to make sure, remember to give to ourselves, and we're going to do grace all the way. Now, can we just say grace because this is our third time broadcasting today, and we are broadcasting this way when we want to be this way, but YouTube is, I don't know. So I'm really like, with the social media thing, Facebook's stolen my profile and all of my stuff there. I'm sure probably Instagram's about to do the same. I posted a comment today. It got withheld for Celine telling her that I love the jewelry. My friend. I don't know. I don't like being. And then where can you go to say, hello?
Hello.
Oh, is that Debbie? It's Debbie Lane. It's Debbie.
Debbie.
Deb J in the house. There's nowhere to go. If I post on Instagram that they stole my Facebook, they're just going to take my Instagram down as well, and I'll lose all my Instagram contacts. I'm not even really concerned about it. It's personal friendships. So anyway, we're here. Let's see what there we go. Ooh. Well, there you go. Kind of feels like that, doesn't it? Look at that. Can you see that? So it's closer. Closer. So there you go. That is number 32. Let me just, where's my book? Oh, I'm looking for it inside. I'm a bit crazy right now. Cheers. Let me grab my coffee. Cheers. I did have 2 cortados at the dory this morning at sunrise with the gang. Yesterday, Katie threatened to cut us off. Coffee. We were a bit loud. Ooh, right. 32. The path. Are you ready? Okay. A beam of light crosses a darkened field. It all starts with a small point, but grows through every colour in the spectrum as it cuts a pathway through the night. And it ends somewhere beyond the edge of view, and it may go on forever. You need to move forward, but you're in luck. The pathway is opening up before you. Obstacles that were once in your way are beginning to clear. What you need will be illuminated. Your future longs to have you within it. Now, I love that one. Every time I come across that line, I love it. I think we should make it a sticker of that. Your future longs to have you within it. It is important to know that the ending is not in sight, only the path you should follow. Oh gosh, isn't that such a great reminder? Like, we're in a, I feel, right? And you just get to feeling like you just don't know what's going to happen and you can't, he calls me miscertainty. And you've got no certainty, right? And it's all like changing. I was talking about this morning on the live with the waves, you know, and they change all the time and they don't stress about it, you know. So how can we be more like the waves and do that? Addie Sundry in the house. Look at that. So Addie Sundry, Deb J. We're talking, Addie Sundry, about not always knowing where we're going. And becoming to be okay with that. And this took us our third time to go live, so I love that. It's good timing for you guys. So it's important to know that the ending's not in sight, but only the path that we should follow, right? So we only know that like little bit forward, just to keep going forward. This is what the card's telling us, is to keep going forward. We don't know what the path is at the end, but we keep going forward for that we can see, and remembering that what we can't see isn't necessarily just more of what we can see right now, right? That's the big part, right? It's not always just more of what we can see right now. So where was this before, you may ask? The timing and timeline of your path isn't totally within your control, but you are moving forward. Don't pressure yourself about the timing of the past or the present, and things are happening in the order they're supposed to happen. And as long as you're moving forward, I think that's like the big key there. So if you can tell yourself you're moving forward, you're keeping your consistency, then, you know, we are where we are. What you need to do will be clear, but perhaps it feels difficult to commit to the path, and fear often keeps us rooted in place. How freaking true is that, right? Like, how comfortable is the discomfort of knowing where we are? Right? How comfortable is that discomfort of knowing that place, of knowing that discomfort, and feeling like, perhaps even feeling like, well, that we deserve to feel it, or that we don't deserve not to feel it. Perhaps that's more of it. Do you think that's more of it?
That's more of it.
Yeah. Not that we don't feel that we deserve it, but maybe there's room for us to feel more that we deserve it. Right? So let's maybe come in with the theme of grace. Right? If we give ourselves some more grace, and if we allow some more grace, then we will feel more deserving of that, and not so fearful, so we won't be so rooted in place. But this card begs for movement. So I think that's the thing as well, is oftentimes we don't know where we're going, we don't know what we're doing, we don't even know how to do it, right? But we do know how to take the very next step forward. We really do. Like, we just like pick up our foot and we like move the next step forward. And if we keep doing that, then we look back and we're like, oh, I've made movement. Right? You might not be able to see, you might not have arrived where you think you should have arrived, but you're not where you were before. I'm going to drink some water because my throat's like, do you want to say something?
No, I'm listening. But yes, that is true. You put one step forward, and when you look back, you're not where you were. So,
it's like walking the labyrinth.
Absolutely.
Ooh, talking of the labyrinth, we have new stickers. New labyrinth stickers, and they are.
See it with the light? It seems to be. Maybe. I don't know.
It seems to work with the light.
Oh, because it's.
Yeah, I mean it's on a curve and it's with the light, but
Oh,
hey,
okay.
you can still see, and it's textured.
There you go. Oh, look.
That Debbie says that
explains
explains her jobs and work.
Yes.
You want to tell us more about that, Deb? Interesting. I love that, right? And that's the thing. That's what I really want us to be able to come here at and have some time where we can have something that is relevant to where we are in life, and that we can during our daily life feel like, oh, you know, that's I do need more of that. That's a good, you know, thing to contemplate, right? Because we're just so bombarded with quote unquote programming and being told how to do things that we're not often left to our own free choice, and then being able to come together where we can kind of brainstorm it together and create our own little melting pot of it, you know, where someone else is thinking about it. Yeah, you left a job, it didn't work, went back to get more money and less hours. Yeah, that's the way to go, and we're just entering that same little thing after a long, really quite a long struggle. So definitely didn't know, couldn't foresee, and that's I think the biggest part is becoming more okay with what we can't see, and still stepping forward when we can and doing what we can and keeping a consistency, even if we feel that not much change is happening. Because what's guaranteed not to change is anything if we do nothing. It just is. So, so we're doing something. And it says start small, one step forward, and then another, and perhaps you're trembling. That's perfectly acceptable as long as you continue on your path. The road will rise to meet you. And she says as a little ritual, you could grab a flashlight and go for a nighttime walk somewhere that you feel safe. And at the beginning of your walk, say out loud, I'm moving forward. Notice how different things look in the night as you light the light in your hands moves over the scenery in front of you. And observe how you use the flashlight to guide yourself forward. Watch as the light bounces in time with your steps. Make a note of anything that seems to stand out during your journey, and these signals will give you an insight into your greater journey. I think the most important, I think the thing I love about that is, you know, your future longs to have you in it. And I think that is beautiful. And I think what is even more beautiful is the present is the gift that we have to open right now, right? So yes, our future does long to have us in it, but it is our present that we are in right now. And quite often we spend a lot of time in the future or a lot of time in the past and not so much time in this very beautiful present that is the gift that the future does not hold, right? It doesn't promise. So I think with that being said, why don't we just take a few minutes and sit in the present so that we can go off and we might be able to remind ourselves when things get all hot and bothered or when they feel overwhelming that perhaps we need a little bit of grace, a little bit of space, and perhaps we need to put ourselves back on top of that list that is exhausting us so that we can flow the energy down and be everything to everyone we want to be, because we're being everything to ourselves in the first place. So, come seated, get comfortable wherever you are, and let's take a moment. I trust the sound is okay, otherwise my sound keepers, Deb J and Alexandria will have told me. So I hope that continues. And I'm going to squish in here because we've got a very narrow little camera angle going on here. It's a cozy meditation. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. So let's come seated, however's comfortable for you. And if you do want to lean your back against something, please do. Just be wherever is comfortable for you to get present with wherever you are. So as we start to sit here, becoming conscious that we're breathing in, we're breathing out. We can say breathing in, breathing out, mentally to ourselves. And as we do that, starting to take in any of the ambient sounds around you. We have fridge that hums. Perhaps it's a light, or some traffic, or some children. And as you hear that sound, becoming present to the sound of your breath that perhaps you don't normally hear, the rise and fall of your chest as your breath makes its way in and out. Little effort on your part. The body breathing itself. As you're taking in the sounds, the rise and fall of your chest, becoming aware of the ground beneath you, supporting you. Perhaps you're sitting on a chair or a bed or a mat. Becoming aware of where you touch that thing that is supporting you on the ground, that is supporting all of us. We can all be so far apart in all the different countries and nations, and yet really we're all on the same ground, just different parts, different places, with different ways. When the space comes, when the silence opens, become aware of how much you're looking for the next part of direction. What am I supposed to do? Is it over? Did it go off? Am I doing this wrong? It can be very uneasy for us to sit in silence, yet we yearn for it. So it's a constant struggle. Quite often when it comes to us, we're not quite sure what to do with it. And just like anything else, we just need to practice. We just need to practice with it, because when we actually get to do it and sit in it, well, magic can happen. Don't worry about the thoughts that come in and out. Let them be. Just don't dwell on them. Let them come in. Let them go out. as we come towards the end of this little sit, reminding yourself that you do deserve to be at the top of any list you are making, and that along the way, grace is always a good option. Give ourselves a little grace, give other people a little grace, and the next thing you know, grace is inviting you in without you reminding yourself. Nice big smile, big inhale in, exhale out of the mouth. You can open your eyes. There we go. Simple sit, you know. Keep it quiet. How are you doing?
Great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So cute.
Mm-hmm.
He's so cute. Anyway, so lovely to see you.
Yes.
If you're joining
Seems
on
like
the
it's
recording.
been a moment.
A
But
month.
it hasn't.
It has. And we missed last week, just like that. Was it last week?
Yes.
Yes. We're very sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
I got in our 2 new jobs in 2 months and lots of changes and just coming out of that big dark tunnel of the Kundalini and teeth and all of the things that were going on in 2020 that seemed to have overshadowed. So yeah, I mean, we're coming along. So hope you are as well. We don't always know what's ahead of us, so all we've got to do is to keep on moving and to keep coming together, let go of the past, Adi Sundri says. And I think, yes, and I think we want to, we can't just let go of it, right, in a way. You know, for me, it was 10 years of whatever, but finding a way of incorporating it, and I think I'll talk about that in one of the labyrinth meditations, where I think that's one of the lessons I've had from the labyrinth is finding a place where I can incorporate those unincorporated parts of myself, meaning those disenfranchised, fragmented parts of ourselves that we perhaps compartmentalize and don't really want to recognize, and finding a way of bringing those together. And kintsugi in them. And I was wanting to bring in some kintsugi, so we bring in those. Oh, I love, do you love that?
Yes,
I love that concept. I mean, to have not, I just, oh, wow, that's like too. So those disenfranchised parts of ourselves that we compartmentalize, that we want to put away, are finding a way of bringing them in, finding a home for them within the present, within who we are right now, and doing that in a way that we can do that with kintsugi. So the Japanese, I'm not an expert, I just love the concept. So forgive anything that is I explain wrongly, but the idea of taking something that is broken and fixing it and putting it back together in a way with mastery and with craftsmanship, and with something very, very beautiful, with a beautiful platinum or gold, and also doing it in such a way that it is visible and not trying to be invisible. And that in doing so you may have seen those beautiful cracked Japanese bowls, and in doing so, it becomes more valuable for it. So try to do that with tears in relationships, and so here we go. Like, just wow, live together with you. Thank you, because now we can take those parts of ourselves, those disenfranchised parts of ourselves, those unincorporated parts of ourselves, and find a way to kintsugi it back together. And it's not super glue. So it's not an overnight process. We can't do that. I'm not going to be like tomorrow, come to you and say, hey, look at this. I got all my unincorporated parts and I put them all on me. And here they are. No, it takes a while. So, but that's the beauty of it, right? So, hey, that's pretty cool. Do I see Kimberly? Oh my golly. Isn't that lovely? We got Kimberly Page as well. Deb J, Addie Sundry, Kimberly's in the house. Kimberly, Deb J and Addie Sundry are in the house. It's so good to see you. Anyway, you know, I feel so much brighter than I did before we started. So it has been so long, Addie Sundry, and I honestly was feeling a little under the weather before we started. And I feel so much more invigorated right now, which is good because I've got things to do. So thank you for that, and it's really, really lovely to see you. We'll see you very, very soon. Stay kind of aware, like get the notifications, because if we're going to go, we may go do some impromptu lives and things. Just thinking about it, and I'd love to hear from any of you, like what you would like as well, because it is all about all of us. Okay, I love you so much. Oops, I get caught up. Bye, my darlings.